Hello folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another vintage video. This video is supported by Bowtie Writer on Twitter. They were the person who did my nice da 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 wee intro thingy that you hear all of the time. And to thank them, I offered them 3 donation deck lists of their choice. This is the first of them that they're cashing in. So they watched my video recently on Affinity in Legacy and said, hey, can we port this to Vintage? So this is an artifact deck that is not based around Mishra's workshop, which is kind of crazy. And it's very strange that I'm playing a, artifact-centric deck in Vintage without playing workshop, but here we are. So the reason why we're not playing workshop is that we do require a bunch of colorless mana to activate Urza Saga and get the constructs, and Mishra's Workshop does not do that, whereas something like Ancient Tomb does. So we are trying to max out on the literal affinity keyword. So instead of sorting this deck list in terms of mana cost, I've sorted it conceptually. So we have 10 affinity for artifact cards, and we have 8 Thoughtcast effects, 4 of them on the new Modern Horizons 2 Thought Monitor. And Sojourner's Companion is also a Modern Horizon card, as is Nettlecest, and we'll get to that in a second. So the idea is you play a land, you play a couple pieces of artifact mana, and you start crapping out all sorts of these. And you get sort of an aggressive Hollow One-esque start, and then you refuel using Thoughtcast and Thought Monitor. Since we are in blue, you can get access to Tinker, Time Walk, a Transmute artifact, and an Ancestral Recall in addition to these cards. I think Nettlecest is going to be one of the cards that helps to kind of staple everything together. This is a construct that will just kind of outsize most of the other things that we should see on the other side of the table, whether it's a Ragavan or a Tarmogoyf or maybe even an opposing construct or Hollow One or something. So what would we transmute artifact or tinker for? A lot of the time, if it's the early game, the answer is just God Pharaoh statue, making our opponent's spells cost 2 more, and then, draining them each turn is pretty potent when backed up by another piece of damage of some kind. I am really hoping at some point we will get a Mystic Forge into play and just chain a billion free cards off the top of my deck, because that's always really fun. The Urza Saga is meant to make 2 constructs, but when it gets to the point where we can sacrifice it at stage 3, most of the time I'm imagining that will just get us Black Lotus for a mana boost, but we do also have a Sensei's Divining Top, and that can kind of turn Urza Saga into another card or a little bit of card selection. I don't know how this league is going to go. It feels like we're doing powerful things, but whether or not this will line up okay is another thing. The other thing to be concerned about is that while we're not playing shops, we're playing a deck that is going to overlap with some of the shop's hate, and that might mean that I'm just going to get bodied by, the Force of Vigors, the Null Rods, and things of that nature. We'll kind of see. As far as the sideboard goes, there's not too much. So my plan for the sideboard was I need Graveyard Hate, I need something for the shops matchup, and then I'm going to use the last couple of slots to just play all of the restricted cards that are normally in shops. I'm not sure that I want them in game 1, but when I'm playing against a combo deck, I think I want access to them. So that's the plan. We'll see how it works. If you want to see more vintage content in the future, please consider subscribing and liking the video. Those sorts of things help out with my metrics a lot. I always have fun playing vintage, and I'm recording this at, it's like 10:20 at night for me. We're going to try to squeeze in a round or 2 before I go to bed, depending on how quickly these go. Then we'll finish up the rest tomorrow. All right, let's battle. All right, round 1, I'm on the draw. I have 3 artifacts on turn 1. I can play Nettlecest. It'll be a 3/3, and then the next turn I'll still have 3 artifacts. Thought Monitor will still cost a lot. I think I can get a hand of this same power level by mulliganing. The God Pharaoh statue in hand is just a little awkward. Okay, hand number 2. This hand is actually worse. This goes Lotus Petal, Dark Steel, pass. can't thought cast on turn 1. The God Pharaoh statue is back in my hand. I think I'm gonna go to 5. That's a tinker. I just tinker on turn 2 for God Pharaoh statue. And on turn 1 I can ancestral myself. Yeah, this will be a keep. The transmute artifact will go back, and the Sojourner's Companion will go back. Alright, my opponent ran to get their charger. They're back. Now we're ready to fight. Sapphire. Ancient Tomb. Shops. Fear. Okay. I mean, that does make my hand ever so slightly more awkward. But that's not the end of the world here. Alright. Still play Seat. I don't have Tinker next turn. I could play Urza Saga Lotus Petal with the intention of just activating Urza Saga 2 turns in a row and just like do the Tinker thing later. Oh wait, hold on. My petals. No, I would pay for the petal this turn. Yeah, like the God Pharaoh statue based Tinker plan becomes a lot worse against shops. Yeah. There is also this Ancestral. That card's good too. Let's go Urza Saga though. Nope, do not always yield to that. Alright, then the Lotus Petal and pass the turn. Alright, there's the workshop from the opponent. And a Revoker is pretty legit on Lotus Petal here. That means that I don't get to make a construct this turn cycle. Ravager, not bad. I mean, I can just bury my opponent in artifacts. Like, that's fine. I'm not gonna get one out of this first Urza Saga. I think that's fine. Is it just second Urza Saga now? Probably just second Urza Saga now. I think. It's also possible I can just go like Seat Ancestral and try to build up an artifact count. Maybe I should have put a big dumb creature in this deck for when I get paired against shops like this. Like, I guess Nettlecyst can be that creature. I'll go ahead and Seat and Ancestral myself here. Time Vault will be very good a little bit later. Sorry, did I say Time Vault? I meant Time Walk. Oh no. My opponent has a car. I'm going to take 5, 6, 7, 8 damage here. Alright. So, I'm not getting a construct here because I don't have enough mana in play. I will just float a mana with that. I think I'm just grabbing Soul Ring. Like, how do I get through my opponent's creatures? What is this accrue? 2. Alright. So I've got a Soul Ring. I've got an Urza Saga. So this isn't mana. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana available this turn. I can Tinker or like a Thought Monitor. I have only 3 artifacts in play. Maybe I need to like increase my artifact count and then Time Walk and start making constructs. That might be legit. Time Walk is now castable. 1, 2, 3. Call that a turn. Mana Vault's not going to damage me. And now I'll... Oh, I have to say no to that, sure. Now I'll start working on Urza Saga. So I'm 100% doing this. So let's get started on that. That's a 5/5. Is it another Urza Saga? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts. It's going to be 6 artifacts. I can get a lot of stuff for like free here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts. Let's do this. 6 artifacts. Oh, right. It's all spells cost 1 more. Okay. Let's stop worrying about the Tinker then. That's a lot of Thought Monitors. I guess let's chain those together. The Black Lotus. I guess that's legit. You're free? Yeah, you're free. Get a Black Lotus. And now I have 4 mana. Now I can Tinker. Let's sacrifice the mana Vault. Yeah, I feel like I should have put a big dumb artifact in here. I guess like just getting a Nettle Cyst is fine in this spot though. Like it's just very large. Okay, my opponent is done with me. Alright, so I have 3 Hercules recalls that I can be thinking about. I guess like I want to be thinking about what don't I want from my main deck. The God Pharaoh statue on the draw is probably sketch. I want these 3 cards. The Transmute artifact seems kind of weak. Tinker can be Mystic Forge in some spots and just a Nettle Cyst in other spots. It's probably still fine. It's Tinker after all. We just go down on like 1 Thoughtcast effect. Pithing Needle's okay. Pithing Needle can stop some shenanigans like Ravager and Strip Mines and Wastelands and such. But I'm not sure that I actually just want to board out artifacts because like my density matters a lot. Let's try submitting this. Once we got going, I was pretty impressed with what my deck was doing though. Like we chained together a lot of spells through a sphere. This hand does not have any initial mana sources. It's got to go back. This hand is going to be a keep. So on turn 1, I will have 3 artifacts in play. 4 if I play top. I'm going to keep this and I think toss back the Salamander. We'll see exactly where this hand goes. My opponent is mulliganing to 5. And they capped at 5. Mana Crypt. Into a Ravager. And to an Ancient Doom and a Sphere. The Sphere is really good. Urza Saga also quite strong. Alright, how does my turn look? If I play Urza Saga, I tap it to play Mox Sapphire, I tap Mox Sapphire to play Lotus. That's a pretty good turn 1. Start thinking about these things on turn 2. Alright, yeah, let's do that. Alright. Urza Saga, tap, Sapphire, tap, Lotus. Now, Thoughtcast does currently cost... Oh, wait, there's the Sphere. I think that's a good enough turn. Like, we'll just chill there, and then I'll make some constructs. Nice. We have the Ancient Tomb Mana Crypt combo over there. Wasteland, so good. I mean, but at the end of the day, I still have a lot of mana. Alright, Ballista is not actually all that scary versus my deck. I mean, it's obviously a good thing with Ravager. It can present lethal very quickly. But I don't think it's the end of the world. A Nettle Cyst. That card is very good. I want to increase my artifact count for all these sorts of things here. So, 3 artifacts currently. So you cost 5, you cost 3. So you cost me my Lotus. But I think I need to go ahead and do this. I need to like make some land drops. Let's go Thoughtcast. In Urza Saga. So I played this turn to make my stuff cheaper. So you cost 3. Make you cost 2 by playing this. But we don't have that mana this turn. That's fine. I think once I start playing like Nettle Cyst and Urza Saga, I am going to outclass what my opponent is doing. I'm most worried about another Sphere or another Wasteland. What is this? Revoker. Revoker is pretty good. That just goes on my Mox. Yep. I'm going to take 2 this turn. And that'll put me to 17. Alright, play Urza Saga. I control 3 artifacts. I only have 2 actual mana. So that can cast a Frogmite. Slow start. But I am on the cusp of greatness. Also, this Mana Crypt just has it out for my opponent, so like things are okay on that front. Alright. Boundary Inspector, sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're starting to get into the range where Walking Ballista starts to look scary. Alright, no attacks from the opponent. Alright. Mana Vault is a thing. And also just like double make constructs. How am I going to beat the Walking Ballista long term? Probably just by dealing with, like, with my opponent's mana crypt killing them, if I'm being honest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some weird things can happen. I might need to put this Mana Vault in play just to increase my artifact count. Oh, but I can't do that because this is off. Oh man, that also means I can't make this. Do I just need to naturally tap Sensei's Divining Top here? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think I need to naturally tap this and try to hit a land. Urkel's Recall. That costs 3 mana, unfortunately. It will be very good if I can do that. But I can't because of this sphere. I'm going to redraw top next turn. That's bad. I guess I need to do this. Yeah, this Sapphire being revoked is brutal. Yep. That's my turn. I also potentially... that's pretty good too. That's a way to just try to finish me off. Oop. Okay, there's a counter for Ballista. Alright, Foundry Inspector swings in. What's more important, me having this Frogmite in play or anything else? Like, it's kind of close. I think I'm going to go ahead and try to trade here. Okay, so plan my turn. Mana Vault makes 3 mana. I can tap it, make a construct with Urza Saga. Let's do that. Resolve this thing and get Soul Ring. Alright, so now I have a 5/5. Now I have Urkel's Recall levels of mana available to me. So, oh, my opponent is just conceding to the 5/5. Wow. Okay. I mean, we'll take that. I was about to Urkel's Recall, and they were going to be pretty far ahead. Or sorry, pretty far behind. Just kind of... I want to map this out for myself, because I'm a little slow at doing this, since this is so different from a lot of the other decks that I've played before in Vintage. So, with 3 mana, I would have recalled them, and then I would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these in play. So I'd have tapped 2 mana to Thought Monitor, then I would have gone Opal, Frogmite, Enforcer, top. Yeah, that would have been a very good turn. Well, I haven't done the math for how to play out this hand yet, but it's a keep. I play a whole bunch of things on turn 1 and recall myself. Alright. Emerald, cast. Lotus, cast. Opal, cast. I think this is probably the point where I just go ahead and Ancestral myself. Just do blue off of this. Oh god. Just Urza Saga on turn 1. I think I just go with Urza Saga on turn 1, like it's uncounterable. So then I will Frogmite for a mana. I will Thought Monitor, I think. It's possible I should just like save Thought Monitor for next turn and just jam Nettle Cyst here. It's gonna get big. Let's do that. Just double check myself. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're more expensive than that. Okay. Alright, I made a 5/5 and a 2/2 on turn 1. And I am going to get a huge construct next turn, and then draw 2 for 1 mana off a 2/2. Okay, we are facing Shops again. No, we are facing what I assume is KCI. Crack Clan Ironworks. Alright, Urza Saga triggers. So let's make a big. I made a 5/5. Now let's play Seat of the Synod. Play Thought Monitor for 1 mana. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That means Mirror Enforcer is free. Frogmite is free. I already control an Opal. I don't need the mana this turn. I will crash in for 12 on turn 2. Seems legit. Alright, opponent has 5 mana. Alright, there's the Crack Clan Ironworks. So they can sacrifice an artifact for 2 mana. And now we're going to see if my opponent can kill me. I don't know how likely they are to from this position. I just like haven't seen this deck in action. I've only seen Justin Ganari put up a handful of pictures online. Okay, there is the concession. So I'm guessing the restricted cards come in for this matchup. I don't know exactly what my opponent's deck looks like. You know what? This is probably where we just like go to Justin Ganari's Twitter feed and figure out what the deck looks like. Okay, here we go. So it's Crack Clan, Ironworks, Scrap Trawlers. Okay, so that returns stuff from the graveyard. Okay. Okay, there's Urza Saga in there too. Alright, I've got the gist of what's going on. But not that. Feels like if they're going to loop Scrap Trawlers, my ley lines have some amount of value. The Trinispheres and Thorns and stuff are okay. The God Pharaoh statue is probably good here. I think I want some ley lines. I think I want ley lines. And then I think I want this sort of stuff maybe when I'm on the play, but maybe not the draw. Like I can maybe go down 2 of these, more of those than that, like go down 4 creatures for 4 ley lines, call it good. I don't know if I actually want to recall my opponent. Like it's fine. But I feel like that's a little slow. Like I just want to get my opponent dead. I don't want to sideboard too many cards. I just want to turn Nettle Cysts sideways or Urza Saga things sideways. Actually, maybe for the tokens, I do have to care about this. Like the opposed, my constructs might be bigger than their constructs. IDK. Let's try this. I'm not sure. This sounds a little awkward. So like I have the ley line to fight against the combo aspect of the deck, but my hand is otherwise quite slow. I don't know that this is a keep because I go like land Lotus Petal, pay 2 mana, Frogmite. Like maybe I keep it because I'm on the draw, and the vast majority of the time I draw another mana source, but I'm gonna mulligan. This hand is better. This is a keep. Which one of these broken cards am I throwing back? I think the Thought Monitor is just the most expensive card here, so I'm gonna pick that one. And leyline my opponent to start with. Alright, chop. And to a Scrap Trawler. Alright, so in case you're not familiar with this card, the text is, whenever it or another artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, turn to your hand target artifact card in your graveyard with lesser mana value. Alright, so this Mox Opal will not be turned on this turn, so I do only have 1 mana this turn. I will just be passing the turn. I can do broken stuff, hopefully starting next turn. Like, hopefully I just draw a land and everything is fine. Like, it can be a land or it can be a Mox or a Petal or whatever. I would like Time Walk just to get a card deeper and then be tinkering. Sure. I mean, the Ironworks doesn't particularly do a lot with a ley line in play. And you have double Workshop already. Okay, well, we're gonna pass the turn here. I have a bunch of broken stuff, but I can't quite do it yet. So this will put me to 14. Island. A lot. Sure. I hope I just don't, like, not do anything this game. Okay. So now Mox Opal is on. I have 3 things for Metalcraft purposes currently. So how do I start this off? I probably just have to Time Walk here. It's not a value Time Walk. And this still costs 2. I think it might be worth it to do this turn. Just go like blue, cast, keep this one, play the Thoughtcast for 2. Oh, I found Black Lotus. That Black Lotus is not bad at all. Cast, so that's 4 mana. I think I'm going to go ahead and just take my next draw. Alright, how much are these Thought Monitors casting? Currently, they're currently costing 3. So, I still have Tinker mana. I'm going to go ahead and start here. Just allows me to potentially do the most broken stuff. Oh, fuck, I drew the God Pharaoh statue. That's a disaster. Okay. That was what I was planning on tinkering for. Maybe that's not what I'm tinkering for now. Maybe I'm now tinkering for a Nettle Cyst. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are we even tinkering? Is it just better to, like, Thought Monitor? Oh, getting Nettle Cyst is really good. Alright. Oh, wait, you cost 1, don't you? No, you cost 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Alright, then I guess let's grab Nettle Cyst now. Sacrifice the Opal. I'll grab Nettle Cyst. That gives me the larger creature in play. I can't cast you, right? No. Okay. I mean, that's a turn. Next turn, I have Construct Token into nothing. The following turn, I have Construct Token into multiple creatures. Hopefully fine. That is not bad. Sure, sure. Okay, yeah, no attacks from the opponent, kind of unsurprisingly. Alright, so Pearl. Cast. Construct. Does that get you down to 1? That does get you down to 1. And that means that the Salamander now goes down to 0. Oh, baby. Now we're going off. And send in 2 creatures. Seems good. Thought Monitors are going to trade, and then we're going to get a chump block. Yep, good stuff. I mean, opponent's life total is protected here, but I don't know exactly what they're supposed to do. Like, I've shut off their combo axis, and my creatures are just better than their creatures by a lot. A Spine of Isha. Well, that's not bad. Okay, that gets rid of the ley line. Oh, that might do stuff. Alright. So, there's a Thought Monitor. Every artifact my opponent casts gives them 2 mana, huh? Alright. So, Ichor Wellspring is sacked. Spine is junked. Returns Ichor Wellspring. Ichor Wellspring makes Sai, or makes a Thopter and draws a card. Alright. So this process is going to repeat a bunch. I don't know how much of this to narrate for you and how much to just jump ahead to like what the end result is going to be. Because this is probably going to take my opponent a while, and I'm not actually sure enough like how deterministic things are here, like how many of my permanents are going to get nuked. I like legit don't know. But I have a feeling it's bad for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut here to the end of the turn, and we'll see what things look like. Okay, so my opponent has improved their board state quite a bit. I think my opponent... Yeah, okay. My opponent found a Hurkyl's Recall. I can just concede to that. That's fine. I'm not going to win from that position. I was about to say I've gotten bored and I'm just going to concede, but that's good enough. Okay, so now do I want the Hurkyl's Recall, given what I just saw? If my opponent stops going off, I don't know that the Hurkyl's Recall really does anything. I mean, honestly, I think I lost that game because I drew the God Pharaoh statue, so like I could have tinkered prior to doing whatever I did that drew some cards and played around like drawing exactly that one of. Like having this in play would have made it extremely difficult to try to combo off. But there were other things I could have done differently too. It may be that I want some of these hate pieces, or that I want the Hurkyl's Recalls. I don't know exactly. It's like every card I take away from my engine just makes me slower. So I think I'm just going to resubmit like this. I might sub out Transmute Artifact just because getting blue is a little hard, and speed matters a ton here. Maybe I'll do this and play 1 Hurkyl's. That seems reasonable. Okay. This one's a little weird. I think I keep it. It has, like, if I shut off the graveyard-based axis, I think my deck, on average, has better draws than my opponent's deck. Alright, so Ancient Tomb, Soul Ring, and, of course, the mighty 3-mana Frogmite. I control 2 artifacts. Sojourner's Companion costs 5, so any 1 artifact means that I can play it next turn. Any blue mana means that I get a Time Walk. Soul Ring, off workshop into the ironworks. Sure. Or we can cast it this way. Was I supposed to not play that land and artifact land cycle this? I don't think so. But I wish I would have thought about that for half a second before just slamming my 4/4 into play. I don't think I just, like, give up the 4/4 to just time walk when the time walk could represent nothing. EE40. Okay, that is just a mana rock for them. Alright, they just added the spine. And they blow up my 4/4. Okay. That Ancient Tomb is not particularly good. I think my opponent is favored here. Like, I don't have blue mana currently. Well, that's... My life gets real good if I draw blue mana. Oh, my opponent doesn't have anything here. Battle. My opponent also doesn't have access to blue mana, so they might have ended up in a similar spot to, like, where I am at. Alright, that's a scrap trawler. That's fine. Go Mighty Frogmites. Alright, opponent blocks. A 10. Let's play this out now because of sphere type effects. Alright. Kicker Wellspring. That's a redraw. Into another scrap trawler. Sure. That is a perfect draw. Very, very happy with that. So I will go ahead and start with an attack. Alright, we'll trade off. That's fine. So I'm going to go Sapphire. And I think I am just going to go ahead and Naked Time Walk here and not make a decision about what to do about my Tinker until I look at another card. Well, that's a little weird. I'm not going to lie to you, that's a little weird. So, let's cast Tinker. I will Tinker away the Ruby. And I'm not sure if this should just get Nettle Cyst or if it should get, like, Mystic Forge or what. I think I'm going to go really low in terms of life total here. I kind of just want to get what will be a 4/4. I think I'm just going to grab Nettle Cyst. It kills my opponent pretty quickly. And then I will hurt myself quite badly. Play God Pharaoh statue. I have what is in many cases lethal next turn. We'll kind of see how things go. Alright, that's a scrap trawler. That's a chump blocker. Alright. I guess no, this actually does get one bigger, because this is an enchantment. And Nettle Cyst also counts enchantments. I'll crash in. Yeah, opponent jump blocks. Unsurprisingly. Always yield to that. And we'll see what my opponent can string together. They get a redraw. It's essentially a free card, too. Okay, and just like that, we're up to 2-0 with Affinity. Hey, is this Urza Saga card good? Asking for a friend. I'm the friend. I'm asking. Alright, Leyline of the Void. Some sort of dredge deck, maybe. A Cavern of Souls from the opponent. On Cleric. Alright, I don't know what that means. Just gonna level with you. But I do know that Urza Saga is a hell of a drug. Into Ruby, into Soul Ring, and I will start pooping constructs. We don't have blue mana. I don't know that we'll need blue mana. We don't need blue mana where we're going. Cleric again. Leon and Relic Order, sure. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. Like, I'll lose Soul Ring, and I'll still do Urza Saga shit this turn. Just play another Urza Saga. Play another Urza Saga. I'll activate this one. It'll be small. I think that's fine. And work towards my other stuff later. So the Hatebear style decks tend to be pretty bad versus shops and work kind of like shops. Okay, so my opponent is getting rid of the Urza Saga that is further away from being sacrificed. Fine. I'm not getting a second construct. Aspirant's pretty good. I'm going to take 3 this turn. Opponent's deck is my sort of jam. Okay, new Urza Saga is strong. Alright, so I will float mana here. Is it Lotus or Opal? This seems like a crazy question to ask, but like the blue persistently over multiple turns is pretty good. I only have 2 artifacts in play right now. Soul Ring got eaten. That's what I really want. The now kind of matters. But like my artifact count also matters. I'm gonna grab Mox Opal. So I will be playing Urza Saga this turn. That's pretty much non-negotiable. But I think I can Thought Cast first and just see if anything changes. Okay, there's a Mox Sapphire. Yeah, this is a very good turn now. All right, new Urza Saga into Nettle Cyst, which is gonna be like a 5/5, 6/6. Forgot to count the Urza Saga itself. Okay, yeah, we made bigger creatures than the Hatebears deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're not free yet on Mirror Enforcer. It'll be free next turn. Battle. Alright, opponent's at 15. Yeah, that's not gonna do a ton here. Kinda hate to tell you. Like, you can shut off my Mox Opal, or you can shut off Nettle Cyst re-equip or something, but I just have so much gas going. Aspirant will build up the Relic Order, but it's just not going to be larger than my creatures. Alright, Urza Saga goes... Okay, yeah. So this puts it to stage 2. Alright, Frogmite is free. Get out there, little buddy. Plot Monitor is 1 mana now. Let's do that. Okay, my opponent is understandably done with me. I don't really want a sideboard for my opponent. I will probably go Godpharaoh's Statue out, or a Pithing Needle. Just Pithing Needle Wasteland preemptively. I can also just play a 5/3 in Lodestone Golem. Transmute Artifact might be hard to cast. I think I'll Pithing Needle over that. Do I want the other Pithing Needle over maybe one of the blue cards or something? I think if I just protect my Urza Sagas, I probably win. Let's do that. Do that over maybe a Frogmite. Maybe over one of the 7-drops. Or maybe just don't bring in Lodestone. Maybe don't bring in Lodestone on the draw. Okay, this opening hand has approximately 1 billion mana, but it doesn't go anywhere. This opening hand has approximately 1 billion mana, and I think it goes to the moon. Alright, so play 4 cards on turn 1, plus Nettle Cyst. The Nettle Cyst is really good. The question is, like, what am I doing with this Thoughtcast? Am I keeping it and sacrificing Lotus to do it? So I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I go, yeah, okay. I'm gonna keep this and junk the Sojourner's Companion. Leyline? Leyline? My opponent think I'm KCI? My opponent might think I'm KCI. Alright, Lotus into... Oh, fuck. Why? What have I done to deserve that? Shit. I have Urza's Saga and Tolarian Academy and Ancient Tombs that produce mana. That's bad. So I guess I play stuff out for the artifact count in case I can actually just put a Nettle Cyst into play. Because my opponent might have kept their hand based solely on the strength of those Stony Silences, and they can't actually, like, follow up with a threat. Yeah. Alright, Frogmite, how much do I believe in you? I think I have to believe in you a lot, Frogmite. Here we go, Mana Crypt. Here we go. Here we go, Mana Crypt. Here we go. Yep, my opponent doesn't have anything. Alright, let's always yield to you, Mana Crypt. And Tails never fails. See? Get in there, Frogmite. Opponent goes to 18. Just a few more turns of Frogmite remaining. Now, most of my opponent's creatures will either trade with or just be better than a Frogmite. Tails never fails? Heads. That's not Tails. Okay, so Mirror Enforcer costs me 1 mana currently, which I don't have. I don't think I actually want to attack with Frogmite here. I think the artifact count matters too much. Because as soon as I draw like 1 Ancient Tomb or 1 Urza Saga, I'm back in business. Alright, opponent does not do anything with their turn. Tails never fails. Absolutely never. This Mana Crypt is going to kill me. Frogmite, I trusted you. It is good to know that my opponent is just keeping hands based on the strength of Stony Silence, though. Alice Jailer. I don't think I'm going to come back from that. Like, between Mana Crypt and 4 damage in play on my opponent's side of the battlefield, I think I am now comfortable conceding. Tails never fails. See? That's an Urza Saga. Exactly, Urza Saga into Ancient Tomb could do things. Alright, 1, 2, 3. This costs 2. Alright. What do you got? Archon of Emeria. That's legit. And I think eliminates most of my remaining outs because my lands will enter tapped. Yeah, if not for the Archon there. Oh, excuse me. If not for the Archon there, I could have started making constructs and stabilized the board. But we had game against Stony Silence in a way that I wasn't really expecting. I don't think I am going to change anything. Like, I know my opponent has Stony Silence now. And honestly, if they were on the draw, I don't think their Stony Silence would have necessarily been enough. I would like to play first. Alright. Opal, Urza Saga, pass. Seat. Can't activate Urza Saga. This one comes up a little short. What if I go the other way? Seat, Opal. No, this one doesn't work. It's real close to working, but it doesn't work. I think this one's in the same boat. This was blue. I have 3 broken spells. Yeah, I think this one has to go back. Like, I can make a Frogmite on turn 1, but oh no. So, turn 1, I can play these 3 things and Thoughtcast for 2 mana and just kind of try to get out of this situation. I think I am going to keep this. I'm going to toss back. I really want to Thoughtcast on 1. And I need Petal in order to do that. So I'm going to toss back Darksteel Citadel, and I think the Sojourner's Companion. Let's try that. Alright. Ruby. Seat. Petal. Thoughtcast. Lotus. Free Frogmite. And to cast this for 2 mana, which unfortunately costs me the Lotus, but whatever, I have 6 power in play on turn 1. That's not necessarily the way we drew it up in the Affinity Handbook, but that should be pretty good. Alright, Jet, Silent Clearing, into Kataki. Oh, good God. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Yes. On Frogmite. Yes. On Lotus Petal. No, you're not even in play anymore. On Seat. Yes. On Ruby. Sorry, Ruby. Mox Emerald's not great. I guess it lets me pay for one of my creatures for another turn cycle. I'm really kind of just banking on a 4/4 right now. Alright, opponent goes to 13. I think I need to play this. Like, it sucks to be jamming more artifacts into a Kataki, but I need that damage. Yikes. Wasteland. Alright. How am I winning this game now? Drawing Ancient Tomb, I think. I think that's my plan. Is to draw Ancient Tomb or another non-artifact land. Alright. That sucks. Seems like my opponent's deck has more artifact hate than normal. They have at least 2 Stony Silences plus Katakis. I think I'm going to go ahead and concede here. Just kind of value my time. I am not going to get out of this spot, especially after mulliganing to 5 in the first place. So now we're 2-1. Okay, I think this is round 4 now. It's the morning for me. This hand has stuff, but is a little slow. I'm going to go ahead and mulligan. I think an Urza Saga hand on average would be better than this. Is that true of this hand? I can't really go turn 1 Urza Saga. I'll go turn 1 Darksteel pass. Turn 2 Urza Saga. Start making constructs. I don't think this hand is powerful enough either. Let's find some restricted cards. Okay, this one's a lot like the opener, but I think I have to just keep this one. The God Pharaoh statue is going back, and the second one's a little harder. I think it's the Mirror Enforcer, and I just keep my lands. This hand is weak though. I'm going to be looking for some help off the top of the library. Oh no. The opponent has the memo about the thing that's broken. Okay, Time Walk is really freaking good here. It lets me just like take a redraw while also making it so that this Thoughtcast is more castable. I will take my Artifact Explore. Okay, yeah. I think I don't play. Okay. Let's do it like this. I don't think I want to tap that this turn. So now this is 3. This currently costs 2, which is awkward. I guess I'm playing Citadel and giving up the chance to Urzas this turn. Recall. That'll be good in a turn. I would currently say that my opponent is favored here. Alright, so my opponent gets to start pooping constructs. Alright, Sojourner's Companion. Start with Recall. Target me. Do the thing. Alright. That all is not bad. So you're free. You are 3 mana, which I have. And I think that's 7 for you. So the good news is that I have more artifacts than my opponent by quite a bit. The bad news is like they get a couple of constructs and the ability to tutor. And I'll be living off the top a little bit, but my living weapon like outclasses a construct token because the living weapon can just then be re-equipped to these little bodies. So now my opponent will make a second one. I don't think they have to make it in the upkeep. They can make it after their draw step, but I think they're doing it 100% of the time, so like that's whatever. Alright, just grabbing a Mox Island. They might be on a very similar deck to what I'm on, actually, from the look of things. Solarian Academy. Okay, that's a little late to the party. I'm very mana heavy. Once I find a draw 2, I think I'll be in good shape. Alright, am I the beatdown, or do I just need to hold back Nettle Cyst? I take a lot on the crackback. I think I'm holding the floor and hoping that I get a draw 2 and chain together a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, yeah, alright. The opponent is most certainly ahead here now. Like I already used my Time Walk in a non-broken way. They've got 7 cards in hand and I have 1 and it's dead. Just overall not great for me. Oh no. Yeah, I think I'm slowly sinking here. Soul Guide Lantern. That's a reasonable Urza Saga target. I don't know how many of those you're actually supposed to play. Alright, now it's my turn. Thought Monitor. Black Lotus. Yeah, I've got the larger creature, but I really just don't think I get to attack, unfortunately. Does a draw card option, right? It does. Oh my god. That's game 1? This is game 1, right? Is Urza Saga really this good in Vintage right now? What the fuck? I mean, I'll concede to that. Damn. Maybe as an outsider, I underestimated exactly how good Urza Saga is. And, like, maybe this explains why my Hatebears opponent last round or the round before had so much hate for me. Okay. I think I'm going to junk this little package. And I think I want the Pithing Needles. When my opponent has Urza Saga and I don't, I want to be able to shut those off. And it can have other targets as well. The God Pharaoh statue can be pretty sick early, but otherwise I think it's medium minus. Oh wait, maybe I don't go with Pithing Needles. Maybe the Urzas, or sorry, the Hercules recalls come in, and then I cut one other card of some nature. Tinker's still fine to get like a Nettle Cyst or a Mystic Forager or a Thought Monitor or whatever. Let's just junk one of the 7 drops and call that good. But if my opponent's prepared that heavily for a pseudo mirror in game 1, then I don't know how bad it is going to be after sideboarding. Okay, so this hand is bananas. We're going to go Pearl, Ruby, get the Saga going. Now I have 3 mana. We'll play a Nettle Cyst on turn 1. On turn 2, I'll make a Construct, play a Tolarian Academy, and then crap a whole bunch of cards from my hand. That opener is just insane. Alright. Land Pearl. No, sorry, Land Jet. And that's it. Now, there is a question of when do I want to play stuff because of the existence of Hercules Recall. So I'm not sure that I want to maximize the damage that I do this turn so much as I want to maximize the number of cards that I draw. Then that gets into weird discard situations. So, what do? I control 3 artifacts right now. I could start with Thought Monitor. It's kind of inefficient. Do I just take my 4 damage? I think I'll just take my 4 damage. It just really seems like my opponent has to have Hercules Recall. Alright, that puts my opponent to 16. And now I'm just going to try to draw some cards. So let's go 3. I'm going to start by playing the Thought Monitor. We're just going to play around Hercules Recall to the best of my ability. Okay, I found my own Hercules Recall. I'll go ahead and podcast, I suppose. Okay. Are you free? Or castable, rather? No, you still cost a bunch. I'll pass the turn, see if I get Hercules Recalled. I do get Hercules Recalled. Which is why I didn't make a construct this turn. Alright. So you're going down. And maybe Seat? Maybe the second Urza's? Maybe Seat. Honestly, though, my hand is so good. I'm not too worried about that tempo blow, given everything I've got going on here. Oh, it would be a shame if someone sent those artifacts back to your hand. Another Hercules Recall. Yikes. Yeah, maybe my deck should have a Bolas's Citadel. Alright, well, can't make a construct here. So let's just float and I guess get Soul Ring. Alright. So, let's go Pearl, Ruby. I guess I'm playing this turn. Just keep producing the duders. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess I can go ahead and re-Nettle Cyst. I'm not going to need other colored mana here. Thought Monitor for 2. Alright, do I just recall now and get that Bolas's Citadel out of play? Probably. But like, even with how good my hand is... Oh wow, just Force of Will. Okay, I think my opponent probably wins now. Like, I just lose all of my stuff to the second Hercules recall, and they have a Bolas's Citadel in play. Yikes. Yeah. My opponent's build is definitely scary. Sure. All it's doing is untapping a Soul Ring. That's not nearly as unfair as other things that could happen. I'll take that. Oh god, they're a PO hybrid deck. Yikes. Okay. Alright, just cycling the Mox Opals. Time Walk. Good god. I'm pretty much ready to concede, but I'm kind of enjoying watching the shenanigans that my opponent is doing. Okay, you know what? We can concede to that. That's fine. Like, I got null rotted. I'm going to get Hercules recalled as well. That's fine. That was a beating. All right, final round. I have kept an opening hand that has a lot of mana. All right, so now let's floop that Soul Ring into play. Go 1, 2, 3. I'll get a Nettle Cyst into play, which is a big. And I think I also get the Sojourner's Companion. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Double count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Cast. Keep this one. Yeah. Cast. 1 and 2. No big deal. I made 10 power on turn 1. What's up? Salamander OP. Ban Salamander. JK, like, obviously Nettle Cyst is the card that's powerful here. Opponent might be considering conceding here to hide information about what their own deck is. Nope. It appears we are playing another Affinity Mirror or Pseudo Mirror. Sure. I'm crashing in hard. You can shut off my Soul Ring. I don't think it's gonna matter too much. Is Mana Crypt worth 1 damage? With an Ancient Tomb on the other side of the battlefield, Mana Crypt is probably worth 1 damage. Send him. Alright, that was my opponent to 7. Alright, what you got? Foundry Inspector. Sure. Sure. Okay. Naming Mana Crypt. That's fine. Like, I still have access to 3 mana. Fails never fails. See? We will cast our stuff pre-combat, because we're cool like that. Send them. No blocks. Honestly, I respect it. Alright, we will want 3 Hercules Recall. I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Transmute Artifact and God Pharaoh's Statue again when I am on the draw. On the play, the Transmute Artifact is a little more defensible. Against this version, I might want Pithing Needle as well. Like, my opponent does just have, like, Wastelands and Ravagers and Ballista and stuff. Yeah, let's go ahead and get that in here. Maybe over 2 7-drops. I think I like that. Actually, I could see the Sensei's Divining Top going here. If I resolve an Urza Saga, I'm probably just going to want mana most of the time. I don't think I'm going to need the card here, whereas, like, these bodies are super relevant. Like, I just need to have the bigger bodies at the end of the day. Oh, that was 61. Whatever, deck list is perfect. How much do I trust in Urza Saga? This is just turn 1 Urza Saga pass, turn 2 Ancient Tomb Urza Saga. If I get to Mystic Forge, things are good, but I think I just want a hand with some power. I think whoa. Okay. This is gonna be a keep. I think I will just be... I think I get rid of Frogmite here. I can tinker away Frogmite. Maybe I get rid of Pithing Needle. Like, Pithing Needle on Wasteland to protect Tolarian Academy is just so good, though. Yeah, I think I want to keep the Pithing Needle. But, like, this would be the thing I want to tinker away. Whatever. Get rid of Pithing Needle. So we just want to avoid some sort of thorn effect on turn 1. And Crypt Ancient Tomb. How bad is this? Yeah, that's okay. Sorcerer Spyglass, not exactly doing stuff here. Okay, my opponent spent a very long time thinking about their Sorcerer Spyglass before just naming Sensei's Divining Top, which, brick check, is in the sideboard. I think that's a hard spot for them to try to name the correct thing, if I'm being honest. Right, so you cost 1. Let's floop you into play. Go Tolarian Academy. Guess we go ahead and tap this now for 4. Probably a fine time to cast the Thought Monitor. Okay. Mox Opal can go into play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And wait on the Sojourner's Companion. Let's go ahead and tinker. And I think I'm going to keep my bodies now. I think I'm going to just keep that pressure. And I'm just going to junk a Mox Opal since it's legendary. Do I just want the Nettle Cyst? I don't know, Mystic Forge is pretty sick from this position too. The Nettle Cyst is a big. I kind of want the big. How much do you cast? You cost 1. I don't want to give up Lotus to do that. Or do I? It's the same artifact count, but I have 4 more power in play. Maybe I do. It's a little weird, but like maybe the game plan here is just create as much power as possible, swing twice, hope my opponent doesn't have a Hercules recall. I think that's about the only thing that'll beat me. There's that wasteland that I was talking about earlier. Alright, that's a large Stonecoil Serpent. Okay. So, now, play Pithing Needle. That's going to go on Wasteland. I'll keep my Tolarian Academy. Now I have a 7/7. So let's just send this in. Alright, opponent just takes it to the face, which is scary because they have Mana Crypt. Alright, they did not take damage off Mana Crypt. Yeah, Revoker is fine. I'm guessing that name's Nettle Cyst here. That is correct. Oh, another one. There's a world where that one just names Nettle Cyst too. Yeah, I respect that. A Walking Ballista for 2. Okay. It's certainly a little annoying. Okay, Urza Saga is going to just put me over the top and win me this game. Alright, if I crash in with a Nettle Cyst, it can trade for Stonecoil Serpent and 1 Ballista counter. How do I want to do this turn? Like, it's very possible I just pass the turn and try to kill my opponent with their Mana Crypt, rather than put myself into a position where my opponent could turn the corner if things go well. I've got this construct coming. I think I'm just going to pass the turn here. Alright, opponent won the Mana Crypt flip again. Alright, that is a Mana Vault. And opponent does not have good attacks. I will wait you out. This turn it might be correct to just attack with the Nettle Cyst, though, since I have an Urza's Construct token coming down the line. I think I will go ahead and do that. Get in there, little germ buddy. Alright. Everybody's getting in there. Let's make sure we kill that. Then I guess the Ballista. And go ahead and just do that. Where's that 1 damage going? Oh, just me. Sure. Looks good. Okay. Don't know exactly what opponent's outs are now. They've got a Mana Crypt to worry about. And they have a whole bunch of different lethal attackers next turn. Alright. That'll be a 3-2 for the league. Overall thoughts on the deck list. It's so difficult to get this deck on screen. Get in here. Get in here. We need you 7 and other 7 drops. Okay. Nettle Cyst and Urza's Saga definitely overperformed. Very happy with those cards. Very happy with my draw 2s. The 7 drops were of the non-Thought Monitor 7 drops were of medium power level, and the Frogmites were of medium power level. Like it's part of an engine, right? So the more of it you have, the better. But especially after I mulligan, some of these things become a little bit weak. It's like, I don't know how to build this deck properly yet. Like, I just don't have the vintage reps. It's possible you want some number of Mishra's workshops in here still, even though they don't activate Urza Saga, just because they make it easier to floop the 7 drops into play. Or maybe you cut the 7 drops and you play some counter magic like what my opponent was doing, because just a Nettle Cyst or an Urza Sentinel on its own should win you the game a good portion of the time. I'm not exactly sure. I do kind of think the Bolas's Citadel tech that my opponent had was a good idea. I also think I should have some sort of large lifelinking creature like a Wormcoil Engine or a Sphinx of the Steel Wind for my Tinker package. Like, I want something very good to fetch against opposing affinity decks, because apparently the mirror or pseudo mirror is just going to be super popular right now. As far as the sideboard cards go, I'm pretty sold on these 11 slots, and I'm not sure about these like random restricted cards that I threw in. I think they're totally reasonable and good, but like maybe this just isn't where the metagame is at right now, and there's such a focus on the Urza Saga decks that I should be fighting against those harder. Like, one of my opponents had Hercules in game 1, right? So that's something that I should keep in mind. All right. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider liking or subscribing if you're not already subscribed to the channel. If you've got something sweet you want me to play for the channel, donation information is available in the video description, as is this deck list. I think this one still needs a little bit of work. Oh, also, like, is the Transmute Artifact too clunky being blue-blue? Hard to tell. Like, there were some games where that was very good, or at least the possibility of it was very good, and there were other games where I just kind of boarded it out. This deck kills so quickly that a lot of times, like, you can just pass the turn with 20-ish power in play and then just kill on the following turn. So I don't know how good this is either. This is also something that I think is replaceable. All right. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Have a great rest of the day, folks. See you again tomorrow.